I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my creative healing course is filled with hours of exclusive content. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And today we're going to be talking about how you turned her off. Well, many of you guys are coming to the channel and realizing for the first time how your behavior was enough to push your partner away. And the longer that I do this, the more I realize how important our behavior is in relationships.
Sure.
And unfortunately, there are certain things that are gonna turn somebody off very quickly. And nobody teaches us this stuff, right?
Yes, and I was going to say, if you didn't grow up in a family where you got useful feedback, you don't learn how your behavior affects other people.
Yeah. Many of you are coming from families that your parents were split. And I find that so many guys don't have a dad in their life to show them how to behave in a relationship or how to be a good role model in a relationship. Yeah. And that's really tough because then you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how to act. You're just trying to figure it out, and maybe you have family members that are toxic and you find yourself insecure and scared a lot of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
So today we're going to be looking at an email coaching that shows a lot of behaviors that will turn somebody off. So you want to be aware of these things so you can stop doing them, right?
Right.
So I find that, going through these coachings can be really helpful for you guys to navigate and look at yourself and say, oh, I was doing that.
Mm-hmm. But it can be very hard to hear.
It can be hard to hear.
Yeah.
But, sometimes we have to hear things that are hard in order to grow and to get that feedback, right?
We'll say them as nicely as we can.
Maybe.
And it's true. You want to be able to be aware of where you're going wrong.
Yes, of course. And
because otherwise you might find yourself, in relationship after relationship that's not working.
Doing the same thing that doesn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, I can think of somebody that you dated that when you were in your other country that had a lot of insecure behaviors.
Yeah.
And they wound up losing their temper, right? And it really it turned you off really quickly, right?
It would.
Yeah.
So maybe you can interject and see if it's similar to this guy's behavior.
Yeah, definitely.
This guy's in his early 20s, and he said, I just got dumped by my girlfriend last month, and we were in a 2-year relationship. I miss her a lot, and I feel like shit.
Well, that's clear.
The breakup occurred in August, and I'm devastated. The relationship with my girlfriend was amazing, but eventually I started to get nervous and insecure once my girlfriend decided to start modeling and went public on social media. So I guess when they first started dating, she wasn't doing it. She decided she wanted to try it, and he felt threatened by all the attention she was getting. Now, if you did that, right, and you were dating somebody, wouldn't you get frustrated by them being insecure about it?
I mean, definitely if it's her dream and her goal and he knew about this all along.
Yeah.
At the same time, I can also see how it would be a natural reaction for him, for her to be getting all of this attention all of a sudden that he may not have been used to before.
Yeah, for sure. But you don't... If you start acting insecure, and as you can see, he's about to, you start doing things that make your partner feel like, this is too much. I don't understand. I care about you. I want to be with you. Why are you getting so upset? Right? So, let me get to what happened. So she was drawing in a lot of attention, and a lot of guys started messaging her and started to like her pictures. I started getting scared that she might leave me for someone better and started accusing her if she was cheating on me or talking to another guy. So this is spiraling pretty quickly.
I'm already struck by she might find somebody better.
And that's a big point.
Yeah.
Because when you have this belief that there are people that are better
than you,
right, then it kind of implies to your partner that there are other people more valuable than you. And you're how do I say this?
It's kind of self-sabotaging.
Yeah, it really is, because you know, you're almost telling the person that you're dating that these people are better for you. You want to exhibit a natural confidence about who you are. That person obviously was with you for a reason, and you know, it's kind of helpful to act as if, you know, that you have a great person and that I'm a great person to you, and that you kind of be crazy to leave me, right?
And I've seen this flipped too, where the partner will say, well, it's just that I don't trust other people. I trust you, but not other people.
I've heard that one.
And in reality, if you really trusted that partner, then it wouldn't matter who would come along. Prince Charming could come along, and they wouldn't be a threat to your relationship.
But I've heard that one too. I trust you. It's those other people out there I don't trust. No, they don't trust me.
They don't have a remote controlling your ex, right? And making them do what they want to do.
It's denial is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so let me go on. My girlfriend assured me multiple times that she was not, and even proved it by showing me her phone multiple times. So in the beginning, she was making a real effort to be open and transparent and saying, look for yourself. So do you think it was enough for him to say, okay, I think I got this wrong, she's been okay?
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, because it's not really about her. Right? It's about him, because, you know, I'm going to look at a situation and consider, did she do anything wrong here?
No.
But based on what we've got, no.
She didn't give him any reason.
Yeah, she was transparent.
Yeah, and I like that.
Yeah.
But eventually somebody's going to say, okay, how many times is this going to go on? Why are you with me if you don't believe me? You can almost feel that's coming.
That's exactly right. If you don't, if you don't trust me, this isn't going to work.
You can only reassure your partner so many times.
Yeah.
And then you're really just going to get turned off by it.
Yep.
Right? So let's see what happens here. I tried logging into her social media many times without her knowing, and block other guys that I thought would be a threat to me, and did not realize that I was being so controlling.
Oh, and intrusive.
This is really getting out of control.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's just blocking random people that he thinks are a threat. Right? And eventually she's going to find out, and she is going to be pissed.
Yes.
And rightfully so.
And his anxiety has justified it in his mind enough for him to act that way.
Yep.
Yeah. But as far as we know, she still hasn't done anything.
Hasn't given him reason.
Yeah, exactly. I broke my own relationship with my words and actions and broke my girlfriend down. We had so many stupid fights because of me. One night I was camping with my friends and got drunk, and I sent my girlfriend a message on Instagram on a post that made my girlfriend state, "Is this a guy replying?" when I promised her I would change and not say this to her. Okay, obviously the English is a little bit confusing there, but it sounds like he got drunk and message on a post, "Are you talking to this guy?" implying, basically implying that she was doing something wrong again.
But this time publicly.
Publicly, yes, which would be,
Good point.
yeah, even more embarrassing. My girlfriend got furious and broke up with me in the morning. She stated, "This was the last straw. That hurt me so much. Again, you accused me of cheating and having someone else. This happens way too often, and she is tired of crying and getting hurt." She also said she doesn't want someone who doesn't trust her, which I could already sense was coming. and I need to work on myself that I was not ready for a relationship. I begged and cried for her not to do this, but she said that there are better guys out there with careers while crying. She mentioned that I need to start trusting girls again and that I need to have ambition to reach my goals. She said I need to be more confident in myself before getting into a relationship because that is what broke us up. And she doesn't hate me, but she doesn't want a relationship right now. She just wishes to focus on school, which is an excuse for me. I think that's just an excuse. It's really obviously about the behaviors, not about school. She mentioned I was the best boyfriend she ever had, and what we had was real, and she's going to miss me. I didn't beg after that, and we left on good terms and went no contact. But she blocked me on social media, and she blocked my number 2. Her birthday passed, and I didn't reach out, and it killed me inside. What steps should I take, Coach? Okay. Well, obviously, I think the first thing you need to do is work through your own insecurities, because clearly trust is a major problem for you. Based on what you wrote here, she didn't do anything to cause you to act like this, other than decide that she wanted to pursue modeling on Instagram.
Now, it would be hard for a guy, I would think.
Yeah.
If his wife or girlfriend was modeling. And he'd have to be able to say to himself, I'm special to her and I'm good enough for her to come home to.
Yeah. Well, because when somebody really loves you, they don't care about those other people. They realize what you bring into their life. And they may look at those options at times and consider them because we're human. But if you are a great partner and bring a lot of joy and happiness to their life, ultimately they're not going to leave you for somebody else.
Mm-hmm. You know what it makes me think of is the stories about J-Lo and Mark Antony, where he would often, after they married, he would often show up on the set because he had to see exactly what she was wearing. And, you know, we're not betraying them, it's all public information. But you can see how difficult it can be and how outraged the woman may become. Yeah.
So these kind of behaviors are going to turn somebody off. I mean, he really got extreme here. He was trying to break into her Instagram, and it sounds like he did, because he was blocking people. He was blocking these guys.
And I think this shows about the nature of anxiety, how no matter how much you want to check or reassure yourself or do these compulsive behaviors, it's never enough.
Yeah.
Good point.
Because she did try. She was transparent.
She was lovely. I like her, even down to the breakup.
Yeah.
She was good.
And I can imagine what's going through his mind is, if I just hack her account and block these people, then I'll feel much better. I'll feel relief.
Right.
But in fact, probably the opposite would be true. You know, you're thinking, well, what else can I do? The threat is still there. I'm still feeling this anxiety. So thinking about that.
And I would be willing to bet that he has been abandoned in his life.
I'm sure. Yeah. It must not have been a good childhood for him to be this insecure.
No.
Because he really got out of control here,
yes.
Which, I mean, to take it to the level that he did. I mean, she could have said, I'll let you look through my phone 3 days a week, and it wouldn't have been enough.
Right.
He'd have been like, no, I want to see 7 days a week. Just give me your phone. You use mine, I'll use yours. But, I mean, it's a shame because, you know, all of these behaviors is really what caused this to end.
Right.
Had he just said, if you talk to other people, then I can't be with you, she would have been more likely to think, well, I don't want to talk to other people. I want to be with you. You're who makes me happy.
I mean, she'd have to have conversations, but she wasn't in a way. I mean, she would certainly be talking with other men if she was modeling and so forth and so on. But that doesn't mean she had any intention of cheating, and I would take her at her word.
Yeah.
You have to, or you can't have a relationship.
And if you're really in a relationship where you can't trust the person that much, then you shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to fall apart, as you can see, because you're just going to be anxiety-ridden and out of control.
Right. And you have to look at the facts, too. She was willing to be transparent, and she was willing to reassure you. So just reminding yourself of that. If they're that open and able to be flexible with you, then don't take that for granted.
Yeah, because, I mean, some people would have been hiding their phone. No, I'm not going to show you.
Right.
I mean, but the fact that she was that transparent says, I don't think she was doing anything.
She had nothing to hide.
Yeah. So you got to really look at your behaviors in a relationship, and you have to be confident within yourself that you are enough and that you bring enough to the table that the person wants to be with you, that they're attached to you, that they care about you. Because if you don't, that is going to cause a huge disconnect and a lot of fighting and a lot of needless accusations or, I mean, embarrassing moments. But, you know, it reminded me when I thought of this one, of the one guy that you were dating briefly, that he was incredibly insecure.
Yeah. And the story with that one was, it was actually the night of my birthday. And I had told him that I would go to a different city, which I had to take a train for about 40 minutes to go see him. And I was very excited because I had just gotten off of work and I was going to go see him. But there was a thunderstorm. And I mean, there was alerts and warnings. The news was like, don't go outside unless you want to die, basically.
Wow. Oh, wow.
So there was no way that I could have possibly gone to see him. And I knew that he was excited to see me and wanted to do this really to connect with me. I was aware of that. So I told him very gently, hey, listen, I would have loved to come visit you. Trust me, that was the first thing on my list. But I won't be able to because it's like raining cats and dogs outside. I won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
And if I did, I would probably be soaked. It would take me 3 days just to get dry. So I basically said I won't be able to go. And from that, he got irrationally mad. Oh. Irrationally. And
that's what stood out to the story. Because didn't he he broke something, didn't he?
Yeah. The next day, he was insistent on giving me my gift, my birthday gift. Which I had told him, like, listen, like, you've already said enough words to me that I don't want to see you anymore.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was really bad. So then he ended up coming to my work and shattering a picture frame that he had of us.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and that was the moment that I realized, oh, my God, this is a bigger issue than me not showing up for one day. I mean, imagine how this would look like had we been together for longer and had more difficult circumstances come up.
Right.
So that is something that I thought about in that, and I'm sure that's something that her in the situation is also thinking about.
Sure.
And that, you know, in that situation, it just makes me think, and for you guys out there, you really need to consider this. You can't lose emotional self-control when you don't get what you want. And we cover that quite a bit in the creative healing course. In fact, I think there's a cartoon that goes into that, right?
Yeah.
You can't lose emotional self-control when you don't get what you want. It's huge.
Yes, it is.
It's really a huge, I think that causes a lot of breakups.
Right.
You know, that insecurity of, or, you know, that childish behavior really puts people off. And you have to look within yourself as to why you're doing it. Did you do that when you were a kid? Is that how you got what you wanted? I mean, you can't act like a child like that when, or having a temper tantrum like they would, when things don't go quite the way you wanted it to go.
And I would just encourage this gentleman to deal with whatever abandonments he may have had in his life. And change doesn't come quickly. And the next time he gets into a relationship, he may have to work really, really hard to keep his anxiety under control, but it would be much easier if he knew where it was coming from.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's important to understand that certain behaviors will turn people off to the point where they say, I can't do this anymore. And you want to be aware of if you're doing those things and stop yourself, because if you can't, they're going to end the relationship. Over time, they're just going to get frustrated like this girl was.
Right.
And it's going to be hard for them to believe that you've changed once they see a behavior like that.
Yeah, and you're going to have to work real hard on changing after something like this happens.
Yeah.
Like with that one guy, there was pretty much, once he broke the picture frame, there was really no recovering from that.
Oh, no.
Yeah. In fact, we ended up talking afterwards, and he did apologize, which I was happy about. But of course, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, there can't be anything romantic between us, at least in that moment. You know, he would have to do a lot in order to recover from that.
Yeah, and, you know, therapy cuts more cuts more ice than many other things. A lot of people say, I've changed, I read a book, I did this, I did that, but that's not quite going to do it. The scary part of that to me was your picture was in that.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, I'm glad you responded the way you did.
Yeah.
And
I remember when it happened.
Yeah.
I think you and I were talking like the day of and even like the day before.
I was upset because the facts were, you know, I wanted to go see him. It was raining. I couldn't.
But he couldn't manage that.
It was a disappointment for me as much as it was for him.
Sure.
Yeah. So think about these things. Think about your own behavior and think about how you can improve it and change. Because if you act like this, you know, sadly, you're going to wind up in a situation where now he's got to leave her alone and hope that she misses him enough to reach out and then show her that he truly has changed, because she's going to be reluctant to believe it and, you know, hesitant to give this another chance. She might, because it does sound like she really did care about him.
Yes, it does. Yes,
it really did seem like she cared about him. But
I'd suggest he have something tangible to tell her. He could go to an anger management group. He could go to therapy. Both would be better than one.
And the ironic part about this whole thing is now it's up to her to trust him.
Yeah.
Right, that's a good point.
And he's going to have to earn it.
Yeah, and the tragic part is he made the last thing he wanted happen.
Exactly. And that's why I say oftentimes the very thing we're afraid of we cause to happen. Yeah. And I talk about that in great detail in my video, Focus on What You Want. It's a good video. Yep. I think that's covered in the workbooks 1 through 5. Okay. But really good video too. But think about it. Hopefully this was helpful. Of course, when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel I can be helpful, please sign up.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. And Coach Vicki is still training with us.
I'll be here.
But she will be coaching with us in the future. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.